Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today I'd like to take some time to talk about exactly how weapons work in Pathfinder 2e, because, spoiler alert, I think that they work very, very well, so let's just get into it. So, weapons are the core of every martial character, because generally martial characters have to hit things, and, you need a weapon to do that, even if it's your fist. But the first thing to really talk about is weapon base damage, because base damage for weapons is of course important, but I feel in Pathfinder 2e it is actually more important than it is in pretty much any other system like Pathfinder 1e or D&D 5e, and the main reason for that is how magical weapons work. See, magical weapons in Pathfinder 1e and D&D 5e work if you have a +1 greatsword, you add 1 to your attack rolls and to your damage rolls. That's just how it works. You get a plus X weapon, and then you add X to your attack and to your damage. It works a bit differently in Pathfinder 2e. See, if you have a potency rune, say a +1 potency rune, then you add +1 to your attack roll. But to add damage, you have to get a striking rune. And striking runes add additional weapon damage die. So that means that a striking dagger deals 2d4 damage, while a striking greatsword deals 2d12. The difference there is huge because it means that now magical weapons do substantially more damage if the base form of the weapon does more damage. So a magical greatsword is going to do so much more damage than a magical dagger. And hell, a non-magical greatsword is probably going to be doing more damage than a magical dagger. It makes the base damage really, really matter. And that is really cool because, yeah, in Pathfinder 1e, the base damage of your weapon in melee didn't matter a huge amount because you could stack such huge bonuses to your damage rolls that the difference of like 1d4 versus 1d10 didn't actually make a gargantuan difference. The other big thing that makes Pathfinder 2e weapons so good is traits. Every single weapon has a trait, or somewhere like 6 for some of them, and these are the things that counterbalance having a lower damage die, or in some cases, some high damage die weapons have some amazing traits. But there are a ton of them, and I don't have the time to cover all of them, because legitimately, there are a ridiculous amount of them, but please read your weapon traits, because they really do matter, and they help out an incredible amount with, having some fun combat strategies. In particular, Finesse and Agile are amazing, and they come up a lot on the lower damage die weapons. Finesse allows for you to use Dexterity for your attack, and Agile is probably the best weapon trait in the entire game because it reduces your multiple attack penalty. If you're going to be making multiple attacks every turn, then getting an Agile weapon is basically a must. Now, of course, these weapons are lower damage, which is how you balance them. If you put these traits onto a d12 weapon, it would be busted. Instead, you put them on the lower damage die weapons. That's what makes Pathfinder's weapons so good, is, yes, this weapon is lower damage. And in exchange, it gets a bunch of other cool and interesting abilities. Speaking of those cool abilities, though, there are just a bunch of traits that I like to highlight real quick. Getting the shove, grapple, trip, or disarm traits on any of your weapons allows for you to hold off getting an item that increases or adds an item bonus to your athletics for those particular skills. If you're going to be tripping people all the time, grab a magical whip. Additionally, deadly and fatal both increase the deadliness of your critical hits by a huge amount. You can get some stuff like backswing and forceful to make your additional attacks a little bit more dangerous. There's all different types of these traits, and they really come together to make a very, very fun system. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that I think that Pathfinder 2e's weapons are absurdly well designed, and really every single weapon has a character out there who will want to use it, which is honestly not something that I can really say about Pathfinder 1e. If you want big, chunky hits on a class that doesn't make all that many attacks, then huge two-handed weapons are going to be amazing for you. Rolling 4d12 will never get old. if you're going to be making a bunch of smaller attacks, then agile weapons are an actual godsend. Ultimately, try and pick a general class of weapon for what you like, and then take a look at the different options and figure out what traits work best for your character.
Thanks for watching. I've been looking to talk about weapons for a long time now actually, but making a full detailed guide on them, going over every single weapon trait, is probably going to kill me, so instead you're getting this video. What do you guys think about the weapons in Pathfinder 2e? I feel like they're the best examples of the trait system in 2e overall. Regardless of that though, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.